These other moves that I see on my sheet, let's do those now, because it wasn't just Amazon in which you doubled down on. You bought Keurig Dr. Pepper, KDP. Tell me about that new position.
I did. So one of my research guys, Sean Russo, and I keep a list of the best stocks in the market, and there are a lot of variables that go into this list. And of course, the list changes, but every once in a while, a new name will pop up that really forces me to pay attention. And the first thing I'm looking at is the technicals. Let's go ahead and throw up a chart of KDP. Let's do a 3-year chart, Patty, if you could, while I'm talking. So basically now you have this situation where you have a stock that's done nothing for a very long time. You've got a bullish moving average crossover, 50-day crosses above the 200-day, and the stock is challenging long-time resistance at just about 34.35. I think she's going to punch through here. But this is the type of setup that I absolutely love, because the technical improvement here, which is a long time coming, is coinciding with a fundamental change in terms of what's happening at the company. They have a new CEO who took over in April. His name is Tim Cofer. Just to give you a basic idea here, this is a 17 forward PE. Pepsi is 20. This company just unseated Pepsi as the #2 soda brand in the United States. We are now looking at a situation where the new CEO, who has been the COO for a little while, prior was the CEO of another publicly traded company called Central Garden and Pet. Don't ask, I don't even know what the ticker symbol is. But earnings per share growth, gains on the share price, et cetera, were just absolutely stellar. Prior to that, Tim Cofer spent 25 years at Mondelez International. This is an expert in the consumer packaged goods companies. And the truth is, this is a brand that doesn't need that much, just needed some new blood. So I think you're starting to see people get excited about the company again. This is the company that does the Keurig Green Mountain pods, but then it's also Dr. Pepper, it's Snapple, et cetera. And it's a defensive stock, which I really don't have a lot of exposure to right now. So I like KDP both fundamentally, and I like the technical setup. I think it breaks out.
Jenny?
Josh, it's interesting that you brought that. I've been looking at a lot of consumer staples, too. And what's giving me pause is concern over the GLP-1 inhibitor drugs and how those change that kind of behavior. So for things like Kraft Heinz, Hershey's, Smucker's, Pepsi, Keurig Dr. Pepper, I've really been holding off, because if we think people are going to consume fewer calories, or if the GLP-1s actually decrease kind of addictive behavior towards coffee, I think they're under pressure. And that gives me pause on that like 17 times multiple, and it even gives me pause on Pepsi's 20 times multiple. So curious if you work that into your analysis along the way.
So my attitude about those types of things, Jenny, is that the market prices them in relatively quickly, and then attitudes about those things change relatively quickly. I don't think that it's a mystery to the market that there are these drugs out there that are changing consumer behavior. I don't think that's like a shock. And I think if you look at the share price, this has been plaguing many of the stocks in this group for a really long time. But when they start to break out of that, my attitude is price is telling you that there is more to the story. So that might be like a really long-term issue where these companies have to adjust what they're selling, how they're selling it, et cetera. But companies figure it out. We've seen situations like this in the past where McDonald's has had to make menu changes. So I don't think that it's like not an issue. I think the market is very focused on it already.
Okay.
And that's probably incorporated into the current valuation.
Give me a couple other things here. You sold Toast. You got completely stopped out. It was down 5% yesterday. You've made the positive and bullish story on this show, many occasions. Why this happen?
So the stock had a huge rally after the earnings. It was up big on the year. I raised the stop to around what my average cost was. Last week they had an investor day that was very disappointing, and price action took me out of the name. There was nothing in there that made me say, let me violate my stop. So I did like just barely okay with this. It'll still be on my radar, Judge, but I think this stock kind of got caught up in the SaaS sell-off. I mean, after all, predominantly the people that own the stock own it because of the ARR possibilities with Toast software. But so if it's going to get caught up in that and I get stopped out, it does force me to reevaluate, and I'm not buying it back anytime soon, I don't think.
You did get trimmed. You trimmed Live Nation. We've talked a lot about it with you of late because of the suit. Is that the motivation here? You cut half the position off?
Yeah, so originally I bought the stock in the 70s. It had gone up as high as over 100. I sold half my position here in the mid-90s, and I just basically could see a situation where the stock could be dead money until we get closer to some sort of a resolution. The other thing that gave me pause on Live Nation was seeing all the concert cancellations. I don't know if these are idiosyncratic situations where J-Lo cancels her entire tour and people kind of point to, well, there's some stuff going on with her relationship with Ben Affleck, blah, blah, blah. There also was almost no demand in some cities for that tour. Okay, that's a one-off, but then the Black Keys do the same thing. That's an entirely different genre of music from J-Lo. Why did the Black Keys have to cancel an arena tour of North America? Because it was too ambitious. The tickets are too expensive and the venues are too large. The Black Keys are awesome. Everybody understands that. So what that tells me is that the consumer is being choosier about live entertainment, and this coincides with some of the things that we're hearing from other areas of travel and leisure. So I just looked at the picture and I said, you know what? I don't need to be as big here. I'm probably not going to miss anything. I still want to be a long-term investor in Live Nation, but cutting the position in half enabled me to do other things and just made too much sense.